How you doing, my
How
guy?
you doing, sir? I'm doing good. First off,
Good,
I'm
man.
Ward.
Mama
How
Ward
you
doing
doing?
great, man. She's good. She's good. She's
Okay.
having a good week.
Sir, I put a tweet out yesterday that you did not like. I said that Joe Burrow is going to beat the Chiefs tomorrow, sir. Talk to me.
Look, man,
Kansas City, talk to me, brother.
I said stop 3. You know, I didn't say stop 3 like it wasn't possible. But it's still Arrowhead, bro. The #1 home field advantage in the playoffs, man. It's still Arrowhead. It's still the Chiefs, you know. And so I'm fully confident, you know, that we're gonna take care of business next week. I mean, okay, that little high ankle sprain got me a little a little bit nervous. But for the most part.
Sir, did they beat you guys last year in the AFC Championship game?
They beat us last year in the AFC Championship game, yeah. They did.
Now,
it's gonna be a really good game, man. I'm excited. You know, I'm really hoping that, you know, the high ankle sprain. I know there's been a couple quarterbacks that have played with it before. I know the adrenaline and everything. Like he actually played well in the second half. And you know, the adrenaline and everything. So hopefully, you know, this week is gonna be very telling. But you know, the Bengals, man, they got two wide receiver ones. You know, they with Chase and Higgins, and then even Boyd is crazy good. Hayden Hurst is an offensive threat. Joe Mixon is very And P. Ryan can catch the ball out the backfield and do things with, you know. So I think it's going to boil down to is the Bengals were without, I think, 2 or 3 offensive line starters against the Bills, and they still looked very well. They won the battle in the trenches. But Chris Jones is a different monster. So, you know, if we can get some of that pressure, if Chris Jones can get some of that pressure, Clark, Karlaftis, you know, Willie Gay and Bolton, you know, running sideline to sideline, I think we got a good chance of winning the game, man.
Okay. Talk to you about the SoCon battle, man. I haven't watched it yet. Is there?
It hasn't been announced. I assume it'll probably be another month or so. Usually, iBattle gives it, you know, 2 or 3 months on VOD, you know, just to kind of put it out there so that their subscribers, you know, iBattle's got a really great app. People think, oh, it's very expensive, but it's $25 a month. But they do a pay-per-view or 2 a month that comes with that. You know what I mean? So you're getting, you know, their 2 pay-per-views a month, and then all of the battles and stuff like that. So if you're a real follower of what they do there, it's very, very affordable. But they like to, you know, keep it on the app, keep it available for those people who are putting, you know, that money into it. So, but they did, which they don't do this for all battles. They put it as a specific VOD where you can just buy that battle for $5.99. So you can just go to the link in my bio on Instagram, and you can go click that, just scroll down, and it'll say $5.99 A War vs. SoCon, you know, and it's worth every penny, man. It's a great, great battle.
2-part question. What was your take going into the battle?
It worked out about as exactly as I thought. I thought that, you know, there was nowhere to go but up for SoCon. People were so, like, with his last performance. 1, against Disaster, his rounds were way too long. 2, he wasn't aggressive and he wasn't his old self. He was more trying to be politically correct, and, like, he was just having dialogue, really, with Disaster, you know? I knew that with him battling a Christian who is someone that he vehemently disagrees with, right, that he was going to be able to tap into the aggression and the disrespect because he's going against somebody who believes something that he very, very, you know, so much does not believe with, you know. So it was going to sit well in his material that when he's coming at me and saying all of these terrible things, they weren't really messing with his, like, moral compass that he has now, you know, because he believes them. So I knew that he could only go up, and I knew the matchup against me was going to bring that aggression out and going to bring out those one-liners and those things that we remember from the old SoCon days, those just witty disrespect, you know. And the other thing was the iBattle crowd is just perfect for him, you know. It's just a perfect setting for him, you know. They're a very great crowd. They love to hear anything from different styles of battle rap, from the humor to the gun bars to the angles. They love it all, you know what I mean? And he was very, very well received, man.
Let me ask you a question about battle rap right quick. Do you think us as fans, right, when we see a battle rapper have a subpar battle, right, and go into the next battle, we just receive that it's going to be the same thing? Why do we think like that? It's like the whole,
I mean, well, Daniel Jones, you know, like, I mean, he was like a franchise quarterback a week ago, you know, and then now he's like, are we going to re-sign him? You know, you're only as good as your last battle in most people's minds, you know, and so I think a lot of people did assume that was going to happen, but I do think people knew that, like, with Disaster, he really rapped like 15-minute rounds, you know, and I knew that they thought, like, he can't do that on
Yes,
our battle
yes.
against A Ward. Like it's just not going to happen. So I think people knew for the most part that he was going to be much better. What I don't think people knew, and what I did notice was that once he felt like after his first 4 8 bars and they were hitting, and he was like, oh, like I'm getting reaction from crowds, like landing haymakers. He hasn't felt that in 10 years. I mean, because he's only battled once in the last 3, and he didn't get that reaction in that battle with
Yeah,
Disaster. And so that
yeah.
adrenaline, like once it hit, then you started hearing that SoulCon projection. You started seeing that cockiness, that confidence and stuff. The way he was delivering his second and third rounds, like I'm SoulCon. Who the fuck are you? Like all of that, all of
You,
yeah,
man.
all of that came
That's the
back to
soul.
him. And from me, right, everybody's like, "Oh, Ward, you might have had a debatable with a SoulCon," which I think I won the battle clearly. But for me, I love that for an artist, for a battler to watch them get
Right.
off the stage and just be like, yes, like I rock that crowd, because you're my peer, you're not my enemy, you know what I mean? So I like that for him. I was
Right.
really glad that he was able to go in, deliver 3 rounds, and get off the stage like that's what I was supposed to do against Disaster.
Ward, I think people forget that
Oh,
SoulCon got bodies out here,
bodies,
bro. He got
bodies.
bodies on these streets. Jay
Yeah,
Fox,
so
Deacon Frost, he got a couple bodies
yeah,
walking around here, man. But it's interesting to say that you were happy for him, man. I'm happy for him also. You think it was hard for him to bounce back after the Disaster battle?
yeah.
Does that play with
I
your
mean, I
mind and
definitely,
psyche,
you come
maybe?
back in anything and you're like, do I still got it? And then that battle was like, nope,
Right.
like, and so, and then you get back, then you got to get into like, okay, I need to have good, like, sparring partners around me. I need to have good people around me that, like, that can be honest with me, and then I think that, like I said, he was able to kind of pick, I mean, he picked the battle, they reached out to me and said, SoulCon wants to battle you. He doesn't want to battle anybody else, you know? And so
Wow.
I think that he knew he had a plan. He was like, look, I feel like I can go in and be the old SoulCon against A Ward that everybody loves. And like, it's not even like that he wasn't being himself, he was still being himself because he really feels that type of way, against, my beliefs and some of the things that I appear to believe. So that was
Right.
it. But then there was also just the added, I mean, he came out of the closet ever since the Disaster battle. So he's, he came out of the closet as a bisexual man. There's just a lot of different layers to it that he was able to kind of come in and be
Right.
himself in that battle, and I think that he was happy with it.
What's going on with you and King Los, man?
King Los will devastate me. That's what he said. He will devastate me. He said that he possesses the incommunicable attributes of the quintessential Rubik of something, and he's so far more of a caliber of a extraterrestrial heterosexual that he would literally devastate me in a battle. That's what King Los said.
What do you take from all that, though? What do you take? Let me ask you this. Would you agree he's the best so-called industry dude that came into the culture and got on his 1-2? Would you agree with that over Budding?
He's not better than Mickey Fax. So, no, I think Mickey Fax is the best to do that. And I consider Mickey Fax more industry than battle rap.
Okay.
I know that he does, he's got his nose in battle rap, but I would say, Mickey Fax is better than him. But I definitely think that he was talented, yeah. He's talented. Well, I think, he picked his battles correctly. I think I never really watched a lot of the King Los and Daylight. I mean, not Daylight. I never watched a lot of the King Los and DNA. Yeah.
DNA?
Okay. And I know a lot of people did
DNA
have
2-1.
Los beating DNA 2-1. So I need to go back and watch that because I don't want to be disrespectful to his performances. I think the Daylight battle was this is a hard battle to judge. Battling Daylight and like that battle going back and forth, like he was poised. He delivered some things that were good.
Yeah. I had Los too.
Yeah.
No.
Yeah. But I asked him. I said, what version of like these guys are you getting? Like, and he's like, he felt like he got like a 7 Daylight, a 7 DNA. You know what I mean? And I was like, yo, people don't get a 7A award, so I don't know what you're talking about. So.
Yeah,
so
true.
Like it's a different monster, but yeah, that's a crazy battle for RBE for this year. King Los, Hollow the Don, those are two that I definitely want to get locked in with on RBE for 2023.
I think you and Hollow makes the most sense in the world. I love Hollow Ill. I love it a lot, but I just feel you and him when that happens or gets announced, That's
Yeah.
gonna be one of those right
I
there.
hope
Do you
so.
see that
Yeah.
happening this year?
I really hope so. Yeah. I think that we're not far from it at all. With the battles that I've been getting in the trajectory of my career, everything's still going this way. Hollow's back outside. He's not, like he's not battling at all. So for it not to happen would be just kind of silly. And I don't foresee that to happen. So it would just have to
Mm.
be on the fact that Hollow believes that, maybe I'm not good enough or something like that, which we all know is not true. So it would have to be some kind of situation where he
Yeah.
was backpedaling out of it.
Well, the freestyles rebuttals. Let me ask you, did you ever watch the thing on YouTube with you on the A-Word best rebuttals and freestyles?
I
You
might
watch
have
that?
I
Have you
might have
watched
like
yourself
seen it and like
at
seen the
all?
clips of it, but there's so many of them people put together. Which shout out to all of y'all, whoever you guys
Yeah,
are, like with the highlights, the best ofs, because
yeah,
I think what people don't realize is when you're trying to introduce people
right.
to battle rap, sometimes I send them to the best of reels rather than the actual battles, because like if it's a new person,
Smart
like they got
move,
to sit
smart
through the
move.
intros, then they got to sit through like all of the bars that might not make that much sense that are storylines. Those best of reels, those best rebuttals ever,
Right.
like those kind of like really usher people into
Mm.
understanding like the energy and stuff behind it. So shout out to those guys. But yeah, my best of rebuttals is probably it's got to be a crazy highlight reel.
If you guys have
And
never
if you
watched that, please
want to
go
see
watch that, man.
somebody be your
Watch that,
biggest
man.
fan while you're rebuttaling, go watch my rebuttals versus Mac Myron and go watch Hollow the Dawn's face in the background looking like I have never seen anything like this in my life. So make sure y'all go watch Hollow the Dawn.
Mm.
When I hit him with the Wheel of
Yes, go
Fortune
watch that.
rebuttal, when I hit
Go
him
watch
with
that.
the GBT, you taking the L, when I hit him with the Why'd you shake my hand, Hollow back there,
And
A-War biggest fan
uh,
club. So make sure y'all hold him accountable when he gets on here and starts talking crazy.
um, I'm a fan of yours, right? I make no bones about that. And I felt like there's only one grudge match you had in your
Yeah.
career. I would say with Ilmac. Can we agree on that? Would you say this is your second biggest grudge match?
Yeah.
With Big K?
It's weird because Ilmac I did have personal issues with. I never really had any kind of personal issues with Big K. He's just the kind of guy who just goes out on a limb and says, you suck, you're terrible, you're whatever, and you start going back and forth. Well, then, I got sick, got the flu, and couldn't battle at closure. And then for that first week afterwards, like him and some of the other battlers decided to jump in their Twitter spaces and talk crazy about A-Ward because, let's be honest, like they can't mention a loss. They can't mention a choke. They can't mention a bad performance, so they got to talk about me being sick. So
Yeah,
maybe it got a
yeah,
little bit
yeah.
personal on like just him being kind of like corny in that moment or whatever. Considering like I felt like if I'm at the battle Big K, even at Divide and Conquer, and he got the flu, bro, don't show up with the flu in front of me, spitting in my face. You know what I mean? Like don't. That's how I feel. Like but I thought I was doing a favor. So
Right. Mm. How much material
about
did you
two
have
and a half
before prior?
rounds, two and a
The
half rounds
battle?
before,
You done?
so I write all the way up into the battle. You know what I mean? So I'm always writing all the way up into the battle. Well, I mean, I have like 4 rounds of material. 2.5 was what was like locked in, like this is what's going to be used. I always write bars, punches, all kinds of crazy extra material.
Right.
So I was like locked in, like, trying to finish off, how I wanted to end the battle type stuff. But then, you go a
Mm.
month or so out and you're like, you're like, okay, maybe that's a little dated. Maybe this is not necessarily a talking point now. So you're going
Switch
in and
yourself.
you're working around, so still writing, still trying to figure out what's all the best stuff that I got that needs to be said in those 3-minute rounds. So
Mm. I feel like there's been a lot of conversation in the spaces, and I don't know if you heard this yourself, where people say you cannot beat your white compadres that you battle. How do you feel about that conversation when people say A-Ward can go with the brothers, but against his own kind, he doesn't beat them? You said what to that, sir? That was a heavy conversation with the last couple
I
months.
mean,
I
I
can see
got
people
I got
have that.
80 battles, I've probably battled 20, 25 white people, and like there's maybe
Right?
one battle that people would give me a clear loss with just Ilmac, and so like
Yeah.
it just doesn't make
Right.
sense. It doesn't make
Right.
sense at all. Jerome, Mad Flex, all of these guys, like I've battled, Archaic, I battled overseas, I battled, just different guys, even SoulCon, even Homeschool, like who else, man? I've just got a lot of battles, so like it doesn't make any sense, It's just, bro, like I told you, these spaces, like they get in these spaces and they just try to grasp for things. You know what I mean? Like, yo, what can I say about, It's, you know what they say? He can't beat white guys. You know what they don't say? I never battled anybody in my own town. I'm battling everybody in their hometowns, right? Oh, I can't beat white guys, but guess what? I beat or battled O-Red in Jersey in a Newark Park. I battled Geechee in Compton. I battled Ilmac in the Bay. I battled, like I go everywhere else and battle everybody else in their hometown. So, the degree of difficulty is even higher,
Have you heard that though? Have you heard
I
those
don't get in
conversations
space.
when the
I don't
culture
get
was
in
saying that? Oh, have you
spaces
heard people
that
say
are
that?
hosted by Verb or Black Compass. Like I just like those are like if there's 12 commandments, like those are thou shalt not. You know what I mean? Like I don't get in spaces hosted by Verb or Black Compass. So I hear rumblings of what they talk about, but I could talk cash trash, right? I could talk, but if
Right,
you want to get together, if Verb want to get together and go back and forth with me on this right here, we can do that. But I'm not about to be in no space where you can mute me or you can do this or you could try to change this narrative or whatever. I smoked Verb on Twitter yesterday. He ain't said nothing since. You know what I mean? He got 2 clips and didn't say nothing since. You know what I mean? So like when it comes down to it, like those spaces, those are for guys that need to hear themselves talk and that need to find some kind of energy to, make themselves feel better, during the week. So
I get chastised when I'm in there because they say I defend you all the time.
I told you,
In the
bro, like,
spaces, right? Because I said you and Ramini,
yeah,
to me, were the best battles last year.
I'm cool with storylines and like banter back and forth. What I'm not cool with is like cornball behavior and hater behavior from people that are saying you should never like applaud A Ward or promote A Ward or act like A Ward is good until he does like a URL battle. You know what I mean? Because now,
Yes,
like
right.
like Verb, he's not trying to battle me. You know what I mean? But now he's trying to say I shouldn't get like attention or media attention. Like, you're trying to mess with my money. You know what I mean? He's trying to tell like everybody else who does like who promotes things and stuff like that, you shouldn't even think highly of Ward, and you're part of the problem for even like saying good things about him. And it's like, bro, like, do we have a personal problem now? Like, you know what I mean? Like, do we need to talk outside of this? Because now you're trying to push, a lot of people away from what I do at a high level as a professional and make money, for no reason. You know what I mean? If you're just going back and forth with None and Chef Trez because you just want to call each other cornballs and then see each other at the next URL event and do a face off and have a battle, that's cool. But if you over here telling 3 and all of these other guys, like, you're part of the problem for promoting somebody who, bro, literally, nobody that Verb has ever co-signed ever did anything off of it. He co-signed KD early on. KD did nothing until Midnight Madness and Sir co-signed him, right? He co-signed Bars Major last year. I go down to Nashville, battle Bars, in Nashville, Verb hosted or whatever, you know what I mean? Trying to help him, get his platform up, get him, you know what I mean? So, like, he's not doing anything for his guys, but then want to turn around and like try to like appreciate what I'm doing. It's real mad cornball hater behavior, but I just don't give into it. Don't jump into spaces. Don't want to, because I don't want that energy to come out.
Is it bothering in a sense? Is one thing when fans or whatever will say, "Oh, hey, what they want to see battle on URL," but when your counterparts and your colleagues, so to quote unquote, try to make that same agenda, make those kind of comments.
Not anymore,
Does that bother you more?
because now I'm starting to realize now the reason they use it is to continue to mask the fact that they have a reason, like a built-in reason to say that I can't be as good as them, right? So like now, like if they can keep the URL thing, right, which is something I haven't done, right? They're using this fabricated reason to say you can't ever be as good as me because you never came here, right? They're not saying it because, the bars, the actual talent that they have, you know what I mean? So now I know it's like they're actually scared because I'll tell you this why. Because now you start to see people start talking about these contracts, Calico, Verb, Easy, some of these other people, right? Shine. Start talking about these contracts and saying the same thing I've been saying about what they offered me for the last 4 years, right? Right? And so nobody ever said, yo, Ward, you spitting right now. No, because they hide behind it, right? You know what I mean? But now when they saying it, it's like, oh, yeah, that's kind of crazy. I can't believe they're trying to do that to you. Whoop, 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 whoop. You know what I mean? Because so the only reason that they stay tied to that URL thing is because they want to be able to say, Ward, like, you ain't been over here, so you can't be as good as me, And that's just, it's just out of fear. That's just out of fear.
When you see guys, the names we just spoke about, going through their situations with URL and everything like that, does it even make you stand on your 10 toes even more and be like, yo, this is the reason why
But everybody's situation is very different. I'm not the I told you so kind of guy. You know what I mean? Everybody's contracts are different. Everybody, some guys are getting treated certain ways or whatever. It's very, contracts and exclusivity deals are very good for some people and very for other people. You know what I mean? So it's really not a black and white type thing. But for me, for me, it is a situation where it's just kind of like, yo, like I'm watching Easy and Hitman, go down on Chrome 23, and I'm seeing like the background side of like, yo, why should you even, like, bro, I'm the talent, I'm the artist, I'm getting offered this money, like it's me writing, it's me performing, it's all of this kind of stuff. Like, why should I have to worry, about somebody else like blocking that or not getting the bread, or yo, you can't do this or you can't do that. Like, I'm an artist, bro. Like, unless you sitting here and telling me like, okay, well, here you go, we're gonna pay you $5 million a year, or something like that, something that's so life changing that can't nobody else, compete with it, but not just on some like, I promise we're gonna get you a plate next battle, or I promise, like, nah, I'm a freelance artist, I'm an independent artist, and I go where I want to go. So that's why I've always been on that. So
how much does it mean to you that, quote unquote, the biggest rap league in battle rap wants your services though? Do you wrestle with that a lot in your head? Like, okay, I gotta stand on my morals, but the biggest league in the world, I know they want.
No, I don't wrestle with that, because I'll be honest, like, I don't know if I've ever felt organically like they wanted my services, like they wanted me like as a person. You know what I mean? I got a call from Queensflip and Norbs after my first battle ever. Right? I have first battle ever, battle Charlie Atlas on the Connects. It went viral, had like 50,000 views in a week, and they called me, right? And they called me and they talking up this battle with B Dot, right? In my mind, I'm like, bro, I had my first battle ever. Like, I'm not going to URL to battle B Dot for my second battle ever. Are you crazy? Now, somebody that might have been a little younger might have been like, oh, I can't wait, I'll be on the next flight. Right? I'm like, I'm not that good yet. I need to be polished. I need to do more things. I might have been good, but I'm like, so they wanted the opportunity for viral white battle rapper and B-Dot's going viral battling strict right then. They wanted that opportunity because they're a business. Mind you, they should have. That's a good call, right? Bring the world together, So then there's been different times throughout my career where I did feel like, okay, maybe y'all rock with me. But then there's times where I'm like, you know what? Dang, like maybe they just want to bring me over here to keep me from other people, or maybe, you know what I mean? So I've never like had like a really genuine like feeling like, hey, you were very talented, bro. Like, we want you over here. We're gonna take care of you. It's always just kind of been like a chess game, But I have much respect for them and how they move, and I understand it's a company and they got a whole locker room to protect and all kinds of other pieces to move. But to me, it's always kind of been a chess game.
Wow. What's your goal for 2023?
Stay healthy, drop 15 pounds, drink more water, battle rap wise, man. I want, so the year, so
you keep a heavy schedule, sir. You keep a heavy
So the year before last, I did 23 battles. Last year I did 18 battles. This year I would like to stay around 12 to 15. I'd like to get down to like where I'm battling 8 to 12 battles a year, with 8 of them being great main stage opponents and 4 of them being maybe a go and give an opportunity or go to a city that I want to do, So that's kind of the goal, as far as like who I'm battling concerned, Riot, I want to get, T-Top or Jazz the Rapper, I want to battle one of them on Riot. RBE, I want to battle, like we talked about, King Los or Hollow, Street Status, I want to battle A Verb in his hometown, at whatever venue he needs.
Wait,
easily, bro. Easily. I am Warrior Island, bro. Like, what are we talking about?
The man has never, listen, the man's never
then he should be able to accept it, right? Already knows. I already told last time I went out there, man. Like, I got a great relationship with everybody in St. Louis. You know what I mean? They know I come out, I put on. Yeah.
Love the Lou.
I'm not sure if King of the Dot, what they got lined up for 2023. Obviously, the Stay Forever event is fire. Yeah.
You You
and
know that card,
that's a
bro.
crazy card in Toronto. Long live the legend past day. But like hopefully they got some stuff moving on. And I'd love to get back to King of the Dot, get back to Canada. Man, that was a great scene and a great time whenever I was battling consistently there. So there's a lot of different things for 2023 I'd really like to enjoy. And then I believe we'll do the Poets and Autumn tour again. So this will be another year where we'll have the Poets and Autumn tour. So I'll be pretty busy.
Time limit with you and Big K. Where are you guys in the time limit?
I don't know how this works. Do we get 3 minutes for the first battle and then 3 more for the reschedule? Like, guys, I got nah, man. From what I understand, it's still 3 minutes, 3:30 cutoff. And so that's what I understand. And so that's what I'm sticking at. Like I said, I save a little bit of time for rebuttal, so I don't always write all the way to the cutoff. In case I do have rebuttals and stuff. But I'm usually pretty on time. Nobody's really said like, "Yo, war went way over on the time limits" or nothing like that. So.
When Big K says that he pokes at your battle rap, how you battle, he doesn't appreciate your raps and everything like that. How much is that just battle rap talk? How much?
Oh yeah, with him he really means. Yeah, with him he really means it. But huh?
You think so? What?
Yeah. Well, I think so. With Big K's a character that never like breaks the character, right? Like he's just always Big K. True. So he always has like this hardness pause about him that is just like, I can't never just be like, all right, bro, you might be cool. Let's go have a beer. You know what I mean? He's just always got to be like, oh, F you nerds, get blocked or whatever. Because the minute he actually starts to come to terms with who he really is, which is Kenneth Barton, a video game Twitch nerd whose best friends are all on the West Coast and, battling grind time, and like when he comes to terms with who he really is and kind of like just starts wearing, Nickelodeon shirts and, just hanging out with people and enjoying, fellowship and stuff, then he might be able to lighten up and not be all so mad at everything in life. So, but yeah, I think he really feels that way, and he's not gonna break character at all. So, he's very, very talented. The best VidK you've ever seen, against the best. Yeah, against the best award you've ever seen is a classic debatable battle. I don't think he's clearly reached a level in battle rap with his best performance ever that is better than the best I've ever done. So I would say the best that I've seen him is Ill Will, Ill Mac, and who else?
He trumped against Rosenberg.
He was good.
He was good though.
Yes, he was good against Rosenberg. Honestly, and this is semi-recently, him against Jay the Nightwing. He was really, really good against Jay the Nightwing. It was shorter rounds and different things like that. I don't think it was his best ever, but I think he was very solid against Jay the Nightwing. And Head Ice. Yep.
Head Ice? Okay, Head Ice. All right. Are you looking forward to the face-off? Because I am.
Yeah. I'm sure he's going to be like, we need to see your doctor's notes and, pull out. Yeah. He's probably gonna put a mask on and pull out some Pepto-Bismol or something like that. Do all the low-hanging fruit type stuff about me being sick or whatever. So yeah, the face-off. I might just come in a hazmat suit. I might do that. I might just show up to the face-off in a hazmat suit. So I'm gonna Google in Atlanta, see if I can go see how much one of them costs.
You get a call for Verb, Low,
Verb. I got more anger for like Verb right now. Like I'll get Verb smooth up out of here right now. I need to take him first, let him shut up. Which it still wouldn't make him shut up. But if I'm battling Hollow or King Los, then Verb's still in spaces. I'm living rent free in his head for no reason.
Well, I ain't gonna hold you up, man. I can't wait for